All right, welcome back to the Weekly Watch Report, where we talk about the things we watched this week. Weekly Watch Report on Monday, Weekly Watch Report on Monday, Weekly Watch Report on Monday, Weekly Watch Report on Monday. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Here are the things I watched this week. I watched Ted on Peacock, the new show.
Yes.
The new series.
I heard positive things.
I thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty dang funny.
There you go.
That bear has some great one-liners.
He does.
Now I watched only 5 episodes.
Is it still Seth
I'm
MacFarlane?
not sure how many. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have watched otherwise.
Yeah.
I've only watched 5 episodes, but I'm chuckling. The bear is just, him doing anything is hilarious. You're like, I'm watching this fucking bear, like, sniff Adderall. Like, what am I watching? Like, smoke with a bear figuring out how to smoke weed for the first time. It's funny. It's funny because it's so unrealistic. So I'm gonna give Ted. I'm gonna give Ted a B+.
Okay.
I'm gonna give Ted a B+. I really liked it.
Love it.
I also watched a documentary on Netflix, American Nightmare.
Same.
On Netflix.
I've heard about this one.
Now you know how I feel about rating documentaries, because it feels strange when you're rating these crazy stories. It was interesting, but
did you know the
not
story
really
before?
a shocking ending. Noah, what did you think?
Well, did you know anything about the story?
No, I didn't.
Neither did I. I mean, I thought there were some twists and turns that I was like, oh shit.
Well, there were twisted turns, but then it turns out that they were like telling the truth the whole time.
Yeah. Which I don't know. That wasn't like that obvious to me. I was kind of like,
yeah. I watched another documentary like after that was like kind of the exact opposite. So I think maybe that's why. I watched. It was called. I think it was called American Murder. The Neighbor Next Door. Hold on.
Damn, you really?
No, American Murder, The Family Next Door. And it was like kind of the opposite of like the person was lying the whole time and then they have to confess that they did it at the end. So it was just like one where somebody was telling the truth the whole time and then one where somebody was lying the whole time. I watched Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Season has taken a slow turn, although Crystal had her moment on this episode. And now Kyle Richards said that maybe it wasn't the time for Crystal to yell. Yeah. But I think all the housewives have had moments where they yell in places that they shouldn't have. And I was glad and happy for Crystal that she called Anne-Marie a bitch and put her in her place. Because I felt like Anne-Marie was kind of just being out of line, continuously talking about Sutton's esophagus. Like, this story just went on for way too long. And I was happy that Crystal like found her voice for a second and told her to just shut up. But still, it's getting
that was like weird side drama of like the anesthesiologists like put out a statement about the storyline and like what, and then Anne-Marie had to put out a statement. I don't know, confusing, silly, really pointless. Like, did not feel like that. And she posted on her Instagram story like, oh, the esophagus thing, like watching it back, it's not funny, it's not entertaining, it's like not a good storyline, and it's not. So it just like certainly took a weird turn, and I'm sure they'll hash it out on the reunion, because she was kind of pointing her finger at Crystal too, like, oh, Crystal needed to have her moment for her, like a lot of storyline talk, like kept using the word storyline. So I'm sure we'll hear more about that.
Yeah, that was just Anne-Marie was really pissing me off. It was kind of a headache, that episode. Southern Charm reunion part 2.
Yes, part 2.
Gets an A from me.
Did you give a grade for Beverly Hills?
Oh, Beverly Hills, I gave a C.
Okay.
Southern Charm part 2 reunion gets an A from me.
Okay.
I just all around, because just all around, I thought it was a great reunion, part 1 and part 2. Salt Lake City reunion gets a C from me.
Yeah.
The reunions are not living up to the hype of the finale.
Yeah.
And I think everybody, maybe because the hype of the finale was so high, that more expectations for the reunion.
It's also being dragged out.
For me.
it's being dragged out too much, right? Like we were living on the high of the finale, and then you want part 1 to like talk about the finale, but we've had to go through 2 other parts of talking about other things before we finally get to part 3. Like, it's just, by the time you get to part 3, you're kind of, it just loses the momentum a little bit.
Yeah, fully agree with you. And then I watched Traitors episode 4. I'm gonna give that a B minus. I'm into the show. And that leads me to talk about that I will be watching Love Island All Stars on my laptop later today because I can't take the fact that it's not on Hulu yet. I thought that maybe after the first week it would be on Hulu, and it's not, and they have not given any release time or release date. So I'm nervous, and I'm going to have to set up all my VPN and my ITV stuff again today and catch up because I can't stand not knowing anymore, and I want to watch. So
super fair. Super fair. I understand having to join back into that. Okay, I watched Chicago Wednesday, baby. We're back. Went through all of them on Peacock on Friday. And I understand, like, nothing's better. I can't watch live. That's way too many commercials. But when I log into my Peacock on Thursday or Friday, whenever it is, and I hit play on Chicago Med, and it immediately goes into Chicago Fire, and then immediately goes into Chicago PD, don't talk to me for those 2.5 hours. So, I will give Chicago Med a C. Slower start. We have a new doctor in the mix. I don't know how I feel about him. He's got it out for Dr. Charles, and I like Dr. Charles. So I feel like I don't know if I'm going to love that plot line. Chicago Fire. I'll give that a B solely because Taylor Kinney is back. Thank God. I don't know what was happening. They said he had to leave the show last season. There's like some personal things. He wasn't on. I don't know like if he's steady back on or not or what it's going to be, but just seeing his face back with those people, it's an absolute must. They're having some transitions in Chicago Fire also, like people leaving, coming back. I was very happy with the story, you know, like Matt, they're getting happy ending for them. I don't know why I'm spacing on her name right now. Sometimes they call each other, Sylvie. I was like, they call each other by their last names. That they had a happy ending, or so it seems right now. Chicago PD, I'll give a B minus as well. Off to a hot start. We know that Haley's leaving, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know if that's happening like early in the season or later. Happy to see that Adam's okay, but he's not back with the team yet. So we gotta wait for him to be back with the team. I watched Beverly Hills. I will give a C. Salt Lake City reunion, I'll give a C part 2. Mary Crosby, what's her name? Crosby? Cosby. From Salt Lake City. Yeah. Is it Crosby or Cosby? Crosby.
I think it's Crosby.
Yeah. I just sometimes I find her to be funny, and sometimes I just can't stand her. Like
no, it's Cosby. It's Cosby, not Crosby.
Two extremes. Like sometimes I'm laughing, sometimes I'm like, get this woman off my TV screen. Like I just, it's tough, and I did not like her during the reunion. She can dish it, but she can't take it. You know, it's just like hearing her say that she thought Heather insulting her decor in her house was a worse insult than her calling her inbred and that she looks inbred is fucking insane. I'm sorry. That's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
And like weird shit. Like her son got married, didn't tell her. Weird fucking family, man. Weird family. Southern Charm reunion, I will give a B+. Good way to wrap that up. And I think that was all Bravo I watched. I finished the last season of The Crown. Oh my God, just waterworks for the whole last few episodes. The episode about Margaret just ripped my heart out. I was crying the whole time. The way they did it was so well done. And God, Margaret really got, and of course, like, you got to fact check some things and whatnot. It is a fictionalized show, but you get the gist. Margaret really got the short end of the stick. Like, obviously, she's always living in the Queen's shadows, wasn't allowed to do what she wanted to do. There's all these relationships that they claim, she was in love with this guy, it didn't work out, all these things. But for her to get sick so really early in life, like she died at 71, which compared to, how long the Queen lived, she died before her mother died, the Queen mother. So that was, oh God, emotional to watch. And then the finale as well. The finale had, she's planning her funeral. Philip's planning his funeral. They have to talk about these things. And they did the just perfect ending of her walking out of the church. And they had Olivia Colman over one shoulder, Claire Foy over another shoulder, just bringing in the full story of the full life and the different actresses that have played her. Fantastic. Those last few episodes. I watched, I think it was 7, 8, 9, 10. I watched the whole new season of Breakpoint, 6 episodes, the tennis show. I enjoy it a lot. It gets me back into tennis, watching. Although I wish it came out sooner, because the Australian Open is like out now. I guess obviously they wait to show like the full season, and tennis is like all year pretty much, like beginning of the year until, if you want to technically end at the US Open, end of the summer. But like if it came out in November even, maybe it would be a little bit better. I just feel like the first 2 episodes we start out talking about the Australian Open, a full year. The Australian Open's going on right now.
Yeah.
This is like we're watching the 2023 Australian Open. But I like seeing all the American players being on it. I think it's very interesting. Tommy Paul and Taylor Fritz and their girlfriends are all part of the show. It's all very interesting and fun to watch. TFO, everybody, it's really good, I think. I liked it. I'll give it a B+. And I like Sabalenka.
Yeah, I have to catch up on this new season.
Yeah, it was good. And 2 movies. Past Lives.
Oh.
Stunning film. Beautiful. I give it an A. Had me, like, I was expecting I was going to cry. And I got to the end and I hadn't cried yet. And I was like, maybe I'll make it through. And then it ended. And I cried for like 10 minutes after, like, while the credits were rolling. Like, it was like the movie was over. Just a beautifully made film, really. I just don't have too much commentary on it. Did I give it a grade? I said A. Yes. That was a fantastic movie. Greta Lee, I love. She is, really good. She was really good. Great story. And then I also watched Society of the Snow.
Oh.
I will give that a A-. I mean, also really good. Maybe a little long.
I mean, they were there for 2 months.
They were. Fair. I mean, it's another one that's tough because, like you said, they really did keep to the story pretty accurately.
Did you know, like, anything about that story?
Oh, yes. I mean, I knew like the bones of it. That there was a plane crash.
Pun intended.
Yes, I did not mean to do that. Plane crash in the mountains, snow, cannibalism, rescue, and that like people. But like I didn't know what those guys did to get rescued. Like really fucking crazy story. There was like maybe with 45 minutes left, I hit pause to like see how much time was left. You know when you do that, when you're like, okay, like it's like a 2.5-hour movie. It was long.
Yeah.
But really, really good. Fantastic acting. And I love watching a movie that you have to fully pay attention to also. Because
of the subtitles.
It's in Spanish. So like you cannot be on your phone.
Honestly, yeah, like anytime
you can't, or else you're missing the subtitles.
Yeah. Like I pay attention to because you have to.
You have to.
I can't check my phone, otherwise it's like you're just not watching it.
So that was nice. Like
Mhm.
Joe and I did that Friday night and just like didn't we had to put our phones down.
Did you ever watch the movie The Impossible? It's with Tom Holland when he's a kid.
Yes.
It's the same director who directed this as directed that. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Yeah. Very good movie. And that's all. That's everything I watched.
Damn. You guys have a lot. I'm slacking. I have nothing.
Damn.
Yeah, I started watching True Detective season 1 because I had never seen it.
Yeah.
And then I got reminded when there's a new season now. I watched the one with Vince Vaughn for some reason. That's the only one I watched. So now I'm watching season 1. I watched the first few episodes. I mean, I guess I'll give it like an A-. I mean, it's very good.
Yeah.
I've
Season
never been
1
like
of True Detective is great.
Yeah, I've never been like the biggest Matthew McConaughey guy, but just very good. And now I like see where all the memes are coming from, like from Matthew McConaughey in that season.
Yep.
One of my favorite duos, Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, love Woody Harrelson. Love Alexandra Daddario.
Yep.
I watched American Nightmare as well. I'll give that. I mean, I guess I don't have to grade it, but like I thought I was like, oh shit, like multiple times watching it. I didn't know anything about the story.
Is it called American Nightmare?
Yeah, and then I have just been rewatching Sopranos season 3. So Jackie. Well, I guess that's a spoiler, but I was gonna say R.I.P. Jackie Jr. But honestly,
what's
I
crazy?
hated Jackie Jr.
So many people are rewatching The Sopranos right now. Like everybody I have talked to recently is like, yeah, rewatching The Sopranos. I'm like, everybody's got the bug.
I think it's because of the anniversary.
Wait,
if you open up Max, it's like Sopranos 25th anniversary.
Oh, 25th.
Yeah.
That could be it.
I mean,
too.
yeah, it's that's an A. Like it just.
I've been rewatching it as well. We just finished season 4 last night.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm waiting for what's his name? Who was Jackie Jr.'s like stepdad? What's his name?
Ralph.
Oh, Ralph. Fucking Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph's the worst.
Yeah, I can't wait till he.
Ralph
gone.
sucks.
Yeah. Okay. That's all I got.
Okay.